for our main event of the evening. The problem child, Jake Paul. Nathan Diaz. Let's.
On a night that sent social media into chaos, the highly anticipated crossover bout between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Jake Paul finally took place, and it didn't deliver the fireworks many expected. With massive build-up and the DAZN spotlight shining bright, the content creator turned boxer emerged with a majority decision victory, once again turning the boxing world on its head. This wasn't a tactical back and forth, it was a clear display of physical imbalance. Let's break it down round by round, because this matchup exposed the harsh truth of what happens when a naturally bigger cruiserweight steps in with a lightweight icon.
The wait is over. It's ready for war. Live from Dallas, Texas, it's go time!
From the opening seconds, the contrast was impossible to ignore. Jake Paul towered over Tank, and the gap in size wasn't subtle. It dominated the visual of the fight and shaped everything that followed.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they will just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
Paul's lead hand caused issues right away, controlling distance and stopping Tank from getting close. Davis stayed crouched, looking for openings on the inside, but Paul shut those lanes down early. This was the exact scenario experts had been predicting for weeks. Even Terrence Crawford had pointed it out. Going up against someone with that much size is risky, not due to superior skill, but because sheer physical reality becomes a factor.
Happened with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. You know, if it's scripted, then it's gonna be good for the fans to watch.
What do you mean by scripted? Like rigged?
Yeah, like scripted. Like,
but none of those guys want a fucking L, right?
I think it's not a real fight. I think it's because it can't be a real fight because they ain't in the same weight. So it'd be more like an exhibition.
I think it is an exhibition, but do you think they're like, but not one person saying like, yo, I'm gonna fucking throw the match? You think?
I don't think.
Or you never know?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go in there and spar. I don't think it's gonna be you trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's let's go in here and make this money. You know, it's more of a business tactic than anything.
Had to choose someone to win that fight. Who do you think wins?
Honestly, I think Jake by youth.
Really?
Yeah.
Davis started fast on his feet, showing quick movement, but each attempt to step inside was stopped by Paul's constant jab. In the second round, Tank shifted gears and pushed forward with more intent, firing combinations to probe Paul's guard. Still, Paul kept his calm. The steady jab mixed with shots to the body began to take effect and disrupt Tank's rhythm. Davis appeared to misjudge what he was dealing with, and that earlier dismissal of Jake may be something he's rethinking now.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough
Yeah,
for
would you ever
to
do a
take
fight like that?
I feel as though in my career, I can't do that right now.
Paul absorbed Davis's shots with little reaction, and the reason was obvious. The gap in body mass told the whole story. Jake typically carries nearly 200 pounds, while Tank, even at his heaviest, struggles to reach the mid-140s. When Paul connected, the impact showed. When Davis landed, it barely registered. This played out exactly the way many predicted before the fight even began.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but
Jake has better
Paul.
boxing.
now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean,
Gervonta
it's
is
just
fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did you
Jake,
ever watch his highlights?
Jake can
He's
crack,
nasty,
man.
bro.
He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
As the fourth round unfolded, Davis began to lose momentum. That's when comments Mike Perry made weeks earlier came rushing back to mind. He had said it plainly. Tank no longer seemed fully committed to the sport. In the ring, it showed. He didn't appear driven or obsessed with winning, but more like someone simply going through the motions rather than chasing greatness.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
At the same time, Paul leaned into exactly what people anticipated, imposing his strength and size. Davis deserves respect for staying upright throughout, but the damage was clearly adding up. With each passing round, Paul looked more assured, carrying the same self-belief he had long before the opening bell of Harangue.
I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on
wow.
Netflix. Let's go. People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good fight. November 14th, Netflix.
By the seventh round, Davis finally created a few positive exchanges. He managed to slip past a jab and connect with sharp left hands over the top. Still, even when those shots landed cleanly, Paul showed little reaction, continuing to press forward. That's when it became clear that Tank's trademark power, so devastating in his own weight class, didn't translate at this level. Paul began advancing with intent, no longer measuring distance or easing in. He applied steady pressure, let his combinations go, and kept Davis moving backward. At that point, Tank appeared more focused on enduring the round and controlling it, making all that preparation alongside Shakur Stevenson feel far less effective than expected.
Opponent to replicate something that obviously, you know, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis. How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, you know, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed. And not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
Each clean shot from Paul shook the ropes and sent the arena into a frenzy. It echoed a warning Dana White had made long before this matchup ever happened. His point was simple. Jake should be facing opponents his own size, because bouts like this, regardless of the hype, are fundamentally uneven at their core.
Is the burnt bridge with my brother unfixable?
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fucking ate it. He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Who do you got?
Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than Floyd, but he's too small. Your brother's gonna be able to get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up.
I hear your critique on fighting guys the same size as you. Is that why you guys wouldn't let me fight Conor?
Yeah, you're fucking huge. Conor weighs 145 pounds, 155 pounds.
Yeah, but he says he could beat me.
By the eighth round, the fatigue was obvious. Davis looked drained, with visible wear on his face, and his posture told the story. He didn't seem mentally engaged anymore. Tim Bradley had pointed this out before the fight, saying Tank appeared switched off, and as the rounds passed, that assessment proved to be spot on.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up. Shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done. Tank is done.
When you say done, you mean like not fighting anymore?
Tank is checked out mentally. Tank is gone mentally. Tank looking for the big bag of Jake Paul, Pacquiao, something sort, and he's looking to, hey, I'll see you later. Tank is standing. He's not gonna fight Shakur Stevenson at all. At all. I don't care how much money Turkey offered, give him 4 Lamborghinis, whatever. Tank ain't taking that fight.
By the ninth round, Paul began to show off, fully confident the win was his. Ryan Garcia had warned fans ahead of time that this fight would be misleading. Many casual viewers don't grasp the impact of size differences, and he was proven correct. Most expected Davis, the seasoned professional, to overpower the YouTuber. But in reality, this matchup was far from even, both in weight and punching power.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight.
Yeah.
You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But
yeah,
he was 60 years old. I mean, the Castros don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis he's actually really small. Like when I fought him, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
The last round belonged entirely to Paul. He controlled distance with his jab, stayed mobile, and avoided any unnecessary risks. Davis made a final effort to turn things around, but it fell short. When the bell sounded, there was no doubt in the arena. Jake Paul had claimed the victory.
Tank Davis.
Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer. George was a puncher. Ernest Shaver was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition. He was doing that a lot.
And he gotta be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you gotta be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you gotta be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
In the end, the matchup played out just as many had predicted, a spectacle more than a contest. Paul secured the biggest victory of his career, while Davis was reminded of the harsh realities outside his usual division.